We're back once again on the Cheapy Productions podcast network. My name is Jack Kilby, no gimmicks guy on the socials. I'm joined for this inaugural episode by the man himself, the OG of Cheapy Productions, tireless public servant, man of the people, Maurice Shortle. And we're calling this news magazine Cheapy Productions This Week. Now, we're not replacing Ryder's Wrestling Review, but Mr. Ryder is a very busy individual. He's a very successful businessman, and on the weeks that he cannot be here, we're still going to do a review of the news stories that we find interesting, program notes and live event notes as well, because there's a lot going on. This is a really heavy news week, wouldn't you say, Maurice, given that it's WrestleMania season? But not only that, it just seems like there's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot to talk about, and since the last time we were talking, and I was big on the Jericho thing again, it seems he has a frozen contract.
Yes.
You hear about this?
Yeah, apparently that's kind of a standard for AEW anyway, maybe other major promotions, but if you're off for an injury or time off or something, some of those contracts have clauses, especially the big money ones, that if you're unable to perform for a period of time, that time is tacked on to the end of your contract. And man, don't you think that WrestleMania, and we'll be talking about some of that, of course, injury bugs plaguing WWE again, but couldn't WrestleMania use that iconic countdown and the presence of Y2J right now more than ever?
Yeah, and I see they're still trying to shift some tickets over there as well. I think the cheapest is it $600 now? $577, $600 for the 2 nights, something like that.
The very cheapest nosebleeds, I think, have dropped by about $100, but that's still around $700. I mean, it could go down further. The problem with that is, as even we'll get to AJ Styles admitting it, WrestleMania seems to have lost a bit of its appeal, at least maybe this year, because it's in Las Vegas again. But let's talk about perhaps one of the biggest stories of the week, and that's Vince McMahon apparently is making moves to buy WWE, according to rumors from a couple of sites, What Culture and Coach and Bro. Vince is exploring a potential buy back of the WWE from TKO, with, I guess, Saudi investors to take the company private again. Excellent idea. There's unverified reports that he's going to be a silent partner, but nonetheless instrumental in the repurchase, and that would take WWE out of the TKO Holdings portfolio. And man, it's kind of exciting to consider Mr. McMahon back in charge of the WWE. I know there was a lot of anticipation and positivity when Vince was ousted, but it seems in recent months, or maybe 6 months or so, that Triple H is getting more and more criticism, and generally creative seems to be, well, not without their issues. What are your thoughts on the chairman coming back potentially?
Well, he was the first person to bring the WWE to Saudi. We have to remember that as well. So he obviously has connections there. There was often times where there was big events going on in Saudi Arabia, and you'll remember Vince, I think, and The Undertaker used to travel over for boxing events and various different things. So I'd imagine that he has a lot of sources over there. And, people were fearing the Saudis buying WWE, but if they bought it in conjunction with Vince, I don't think Vince would let it base in Saudi Arabia, and I think things would change, and I think they'd go back to reasonable pricing and just the normal kind of run of the mill stuff that we've seen with events. I don't think if Saudi bought it with Vince McMahon there, not all the events would be in Saudi Arabia. They'd be global, I think, as well. That's the only fear of it going to Saudi Arabia, that'll just be stuck there. But if Vince came on board with it, that'd be good, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a very salient point. I mean, a lot of folks are speculating in that, and if a Saudi ownership in and of itself bought it, you can be assured that would be their base of operations, and it would generally be bad. But I think what needs to happen is they need to get some perspective again. Maybe they don't give a crap about the fans or the product. I guess they think that they're so over that they can do it on autopilot, and the fans will continue to pay these ridiculous second and third mortgage prices for premium at live events. And I think we're seeing that with reports that nights 1 and 2, especially night 1, are struggling in terms of ticket sales. So yeah, this is good news, I would say, definitely on the whole. Whether it happens or not remains to be seen, but it certainly would be a step in the right direction to making WWE more fan friendly again. And that's, of course, not in the TKO model at all. Now,
what did you think of the video of him crashing the car? It was interesting, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, I saw the move that he tried to pull to pass the other vehicle, and man, he admitted. I think I heard him say on the on the footage that he hasn't been able to drive his car in a long time, and that was pretty obvious. He seemed fortunately not intoxicated by any stretch of the imagination, but definitely shouldn't be probably driving a vehicle of that amount of horsepower in such a manner. Stephen D, how are you doing, sir? He's saying Raw was boring last night. Yeah,
take your word for it, Stephen.
Yeah, I think I caught a couple of clips, and that was about it. And we're going to be talking about some of the developments on Raw last night. But what about this Janelle Grant press conference? I honestly couldn't sit through the whole thing. Did you?
I still haven't watched it all. I think I watched maybe 2.5 minutes. I will watch it tomorrow. I'll watch it tomorrow. Tomorrow night, maybe I'll have a couple of beers and I'll watch it. And I don't know. I looked through.
Oh, you froze up for a second.
The items that were received when things were rosy.
The list, now, including the BMW, correct?
Yes. Yeah. So, what do you say about that without being called a sexist or a
misogynist? Something along those lines. I think it's a very polarizing topic. Obviously, I wanted to mention that from my perspective, that press conference, without getting into the nitty gritty about her ultimate motivations or whatnot, I thought it didn't do her any favors. I didn't think she came across as very credible. And then when that list of materials came out, I think it further undermined her credibility. But interestingly, former WWE talent had a post, I guess it was yesterday, that or said it on a podcast. Shelly Martinez from WWE ECW, she was highly critical of Miss Grant and noted that it made her angry, acting like a do-gooder after she chose to have what she believes to be a consensual relationship with Mr. McMahon, and feels that her actions in this suit and then in the press conference hurts legitimate victims. And she says, and I'll read this quote for you. I get it. I get where Janelle Grant is coming from, but I'm here to say it's a choice, and she chose to have an arrangement with McMahon. she chose to go through certain things to get what she wanted at the end of the day. And then where it really makes me mad is there's people out there that did not consent, men or women, I don't care who, they did not consent, and they get taken advantage of against their will. And now their jobs are in jeopardy because they need to be quiet. And she goes on and talks about, some of the financial aspects of it, describing it as a transaction, and in return for the sexual activities or whatnot, she was very well rewarded. Anyway, we weren't there. We, definitely aren't in a position to judge whether, she was actually victimized or not. But I think it's not a very good look when you break down the time frame. And apparently everything was fine until Vince decided that he had had enough, and then the lawsuit and et cetera came out. What are your thoughts on just the commentary that's going on online, both positive and negative, about such a matter? I really find it interesting that she chose, while this suit is supposedly still going on, to make such an appearance, have such a press conference.
Yeah, would that not be contempt of court or anything? That's what it would look like over here, but I don't know. America is so strange, and it depends on what state you're in, what rules there is. But I would have thought while this was going on that she couldn't have went out and done something like this. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. What way does it work?
Well, because it's a civil matter, I don't think those rules of engagement apply. But I would think that when the argument is being put forth about the suit before the judge, that would hurt. It would hurt her in some way by preempting the court's judgment by laying all the cards out on the table. I'm not a lawyer, clearly, yes, but I thought it was a very risky move. And honestly, she had crazy eyes. Did you notice that?
I need to have a proper look at it. But look, when is this court case coming up?
You know what? That I don't know.
I'll find out.
Yeah, maybe check that out. Mm-hmm. The issue is that maybe it's going to go to an arbitration and it won't go to a full trial. I'm thinking that's maybe what this press conference is significant in so much as showing the cards that this is not going to go to a trial, and they're going to resolve it and there'll be a settlement, which I think, my goodness, has this been going on for 2 years? Time is of the essence to have that happen.
Yeah, but this has happened before with Mr. McMahon. There has been settlements outside of court before.
Yes, you interviewed Rita Chatterton, did you not?
Yes. Yes, that was her first interview in about 35 years.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it was very bad that day when I was trying to talk to her, but we got a good interview out of it. And she's since got money from Mr. McMahon.
Oh, she's had the settlement paid.
I'm just trying. Yes.
While you're looking that up, I'll speak to another related matter, I think, and that's Brock Lesnar last night was on Raw and issued an open challenge for WrestleMania 42. So I guess he's back in he came back a couple of months ago, but he's definitely back. It wasn't a one-off. Paul Heyman, the Walrus there, came out with him. I guess he's officially managing him again, and said that talked about Lesnar ending the streak, and that basically no one has the cojones to face Lesnar at WrestleMania. Nobody's got the guts, and nobody came out, but there are significant rumors still that it's going to be LA Knight or even Gunther, that Gunther would be the one to end his career. Gunther went on a podcast and made those comments that he would be open to do that. But by having Lesnar on and booked for WrestleMania, I think it's good for WrestleMania because some tickets are going to be sold. But it seems like he's back officially for a few more appearances and this lawsuit, which honestly I never understood what he was being accused of anyway, except having some sex with this woman.
Yeah. The lawsuit is in June, but there has been no date set yet. That's the latest.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
so it may go to arbitration.
Yeah, so they can push Brock into WrestleMania. This is not going to happen before then anyway. I heard, who else did I hear mentioned? Obafemi was mentioned, and obviously the Chris Jericho rumor as well. But are they going to keep this a secret, I wonder, until WrestleMania? Will we not know? Will it just be an open challenge on the night? Because that could be interesting.
Yeah, I think that's how they're going to go with it. Acers is saying LA Knight, yeah, but there's a little bit of a twist in this too, because LA Knight was speaking on another podcast, and he said that basically a WWE championship match for him at WrestleMania is overdue, and he didn't qualify for the Elimination Chamber, but nonetheless feels that is something that needs to happen. He was talking on ESPN Sports Center and said, I'll read the quote for you in a second while we get Maurice back from some technical issues. But on Sports Center, he said that it would mean all this paid off, everything, all the effort, all the time, all the blood, sweat, and tears, all the stuff that you hear everybody talk about for real. He said, I'm 23 years in this thing right now, but with that the case, when you talk about a marquee match, nothing is bigger than WrestleMania as far as I'm concerned, and me being in the world title picture is overdue. I know you're a fan of his work as well. Isn't this kind of when I read this, I thought, the company doesn't like, unless it's already locked in, the company doesn't like a talent going into business for themselves, so to speak, and putting them on the spot in such a manner. What are your thoughts on this?
I actually missed the start of that. I didn't because of the connection difficulties there.
Basically, on ESPN Sports Center, LA Knight went on and talked about how much it means to him to be in a title match at WrestleMania. He cited his 23-year career and said that it's overdue in his opinion. That's kind of risky in a lot of ways, but you got to agree with him. He's definitely a fan favorite. He was exceedingly over about a year ago, and they seem to have done what they could to cool him off, so to speak. But what are your thoughts?
Jey Uso was also a fan favorite for a while, and what happened there? I don't know. A lot of people like LA Knight, but I'm not one of those guys. I'm not huge on him. I think he's a good wrestler. I think he's got a good look. He's good on the microphone, but I don't think he's world title material. Then again,
really?
Neither was Jey Uso. Yeah, I would say that.
I can see why Jey Uso isn't. That experiment failed, but what is LA Knight missing then, besides the company being behind him 100%?
I don't know. If I think of someone like Finn Balor, he's like, I think that the only thing that's going in his disadvantage is his size, Now, I know he's getting a kind of a little push at the moment with the CM Punk stuff, but I prefer Finn Balor. There's some serious potential to be unlocked there. They need to get this demon thing going again and get him out of that faction. Split the two Irish guys up,
Absolutely. That faction is DOA now anyway. Well, I'll respectfully disagree. I think he has the tools, and I think he deserves a shot. Whether it happens or not, I think if he's answering Brock Lesnar's challenge, it's hard to see Brock losing to LA Knight, and it could be actually kind of disastrous.
We're going to kind of know who's going to be facing Brock by who's not announced in a match. Like if LA Knight is not announced in a match coming up to WrestleMania, well then you could say, okay, it's going to be him. What if they swerved it and it was a triple threat or something?
Well, yeah, they're talking about that definitely as well, at least in the McIntyre deal, because people are not really excited, me included, about another Cody Rhodes match where he'll pin him, no doubt. So we'll have to see what happens there. But yeah, I think you're bang on. If LA Knight is off in the weeds and doesn't have anything announced, then yeah, he's probably a lock for that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Last night on Raw, it was announced that AJ Styles, the phenomenal one. I know we always talk about AJ Styles in conjunction with Mr. Ryder's match with him in TNA, but he's going in to the Hall of Fame this year. The Undertaker rode out on pedaled out on his bike and announced it. And then, as you know, a special treat, there were some TNA originals there. Kazarian Abyss was there at Abyss for the first time in a long time. And man, he looks like he's slimmed down quite a bit. Good for Joseph Park. And on top of all of that good stuff, it's strongly rumored that John Cena is going to be the man to induct AJ Styles into the Hall of Fame. The only names known so far, AJ Styles and Stephanie McMahon. Obviously, I think you would concur that AJ Styles belongs in the Hall of Fame for sure. But what do you think about Cena inducting him? One would have thought Cena would have been in the Hall of Fame this year. Maybe he's going to be still. Who knows?
Maybe they might save him for next year because AJ Styles is a pretty marquee inductee, isn't he? You know?
Yes.
They might end up saving John Cena for next year, but that's a strange one. John Cena inducting AJ Styles. I'd imagine there's a lot of other people that he would have been closer to, even the TNA days and stuff. But anyway, he deserves it. Absolutely,
that's gravy. Acers is saying, can't believe that Triple H is booking Gunther versus Rey Mysterio career at WrestleMania 42. That must be breaking news, sir, because I did not come across that today at all. Rey Mysterio just had surgery, did he not, Morris? Did you see that?
Haven't seen that. I can have a look and see. It could be rumored.
Yeah. He was on crutches on a recent picture, so that'll be I guess Mysterio's retiring as well. He's he's almost my age. He's about 50, I think, almost now, or 49. So yeah, with the style that he's worked, it's amazing. He's had the longevity that he has had. But that's an interesting scoop. I appreciate that. This is why Cheap Heat Productions has some of the most in the know smart wrestling fans.
It's not confirmed, but it is a rumor.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. According to report. So not confirmed, but yeah, that's one I could believe. And Rey Mysterio, he's been brilliant, over the years. Another Hall of Famer for sure.
I think he's already in the Hall of Fame, is he not?
Is he in the Hall of Fame already?
Yeah, I think he already is, yeah. Conan inducted him, I think, a couple of years ago. What do you think of this, the criticism of Gunther that his character is stale and rather one-dimensional, all that sort of thing? What are your thoughts on that criticism?
I don't agree with that at all. I think that people are supposed to dislike the man, and he's doing a good job. Retiring all their heroes.
Bingo. The other AJ Styles news, and this is interesting too. I alluded to it earlier. He said that WrestleMania has lost its luster, and explains why he retired at the Royal Rumble. He said it was by design. He said that I was coming back from an injury to a WrestleMania, to a match that to me didn't have much build. WrestleMania, I'm sorry to say, used to be the most prestigious PLE, but to me it's kind of lost its luster a little bit. As far as a Royal Rumble, that's special to me because that's where I made my debut. To be able to end it where it started is poetic. That's that makes sense to me. But do you think Mania has just become? Oh, let's act surprised that Mania has become just another PLE when it's lumped into everything else that for the same price. There was a day when WrestleMania was $50 to order, and they actually built it for months. I don't see that happening here. What, we've got one match announced. Do you see him as being sound in that logic?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. And it's very simple. It's because of 2 nights. One night of magic is all we need. WrestleMania. Even if they changed the 2-night thing and had WrestleMania on for 7 hours, that would still be more magic than the 2-day thing. The 2-day thing is just, you lose that momentum. You're losing momentum in between shows. Whereas if you have it all in the one block live, boom, there you go. Start to finish, WrestleMania is over. But this week, the weekend thing, like what they're going to be doing with the Rumbles and stuff now, it's going to... no, it has to be one night. One night of magic.
I agree. And I would hazard to guess that if McMahon bought the company again, we'd go back there, because this seems to be oriented by greed.
Oh, yeah. It's all about money.
Almost completely. As Acers indicated earlier in the show, Bronson Reed is injured. He says out till August. What I have is that he has a distal bicep tear, and believe me, if you've ever torn your bicep, that's not fun. That's usually a lot of factors: dehydration, overwork, lack of sleep. So it could be any of the ones there for him. It means it's an injury where the tendon connecting the bicep muscle to the forearm tears, causing symptoms such as swelling and bruising. And recovery could take anywhere from 3 to 6 months. A lot of fans are saying, is this vision stable? Is it cursed? I personally, I never thought it had any steam. What are your thoughts on the stable?
Yeah, I never bought into it at all. And I think just Paul Heyman didn't even look comfortable in the middle of all that. He's back where he belongs now with Brock, But that the stable just didn't work. Simple as that.
Yeah, that's the difficulty of putting wrestlers together
For the sake of it.
Yeah, for the sake of it at random. Although the greatest stable, or in my opinion, as an old NWA Jim Crockett Promotions fan, the greatest stable of all time was the original Four Horsemen and the version with Barry Windham. But the original were put together because of trying to share interview time, and it just clicked. That chemistry was there, which reminds me, again, excited to have on one of the original Four Horsemen coming up in March. Tully Blanchard will be doing a fan Q&A with myself. Fans, you're great at sending in those questions to me on Facebook. Get your questions in for Tully. But the Four Horsemen were, I think, the exception to the rule, and the vision just never clicked. I thought Reed and Steiner had some juice as a tag team, but not really a Seth Rollins fan. And then they added Paul and whoever this masked guy is. His steam is gone. I think it's time to kind of cut that deal, however they're going to get out of it. But that's a huge loss. I like Bronson Reed. I think he's a throwback big man. He doesn't look like a shredded bodybuilder. He's a unique individual, and wish him a speedy recovery. Man, that's a second injury for him as well. Coming off the cage, I forget what the injury was. Perhaps Acer knows, but definitely messed himself up there. So not a good thing. So do you like Heyman with Lesnar, despite the lack of how should I say continuity there, because he's turned on him once or twice?
Yeah, I still think it works for him. Paul Heyman with Brock Lesnar just works. I think it's because he was there for the streak as well. I think that's an important thing that they could always have, especially with WrestleMania. I'm just thinking there for Brock Lesnar's open challenge. I remember Kevin Owens done he didn't do an open challenge. He challenged Steve Austin to a match at WrestleMania back in Dallas that time. Wonder, could we see Austin coming back for one more with Lesnar?
That would be a dream match. And
he did say a couple of weeks back in that CVV interview that, he does have one more in him.
Well, if they're planning that, I wouldn't make it a surprise. I'd advertise the hell out of it and make it the main event. I'd put Reigns and Punk night 1 and make that night 2. But we'll have to see. That's been 20 plus years in the making, and that would definitely be something to pique interest. Acers is pointing out that 2 days ago, Ric Flair debuted the big gold belt on television worth $400,000 and has continuously leveraged that ever since. Great belt, probably one of the best,
One of the best,
of all time. Now, last night, as part of the retirement celebration or what have you for Raw, the Good Brothers, Gallows and Anderson, they were on. They made an appearance, given the fact that they were in the Bullet Club and then worked together in WWE. That was a big surprise, and I think I wanted to talk about that because we are days away, fans, once again from the Good Brothers, Gallows and Anderson, being at Finger Lakes Extreme Wrestling at the Mud Creek Bison Ranch in Savona, New York. The Good Brothers will be there live and in action against a very top-notch tag team known as the High Seas. It's a stacked and loaded card. If you followed the channel, you'll know that it's loaded from top to bottom, highlighted by the Good Brothers being there, as well as a ladder match for the Flex Heavyweight Championship from the champ, Sean Carr. The hybrid is defending against Shale Connors, the sensational athletic youngster, in a ladder match. That's going to be amazing. The tickets are available at flexwrestling.com. The ringside seats are gone. A lot of the premium floor seats are gone. There may be a few left, but you're going to want to get those and not miss out because it's going to be a great independent event this Saturday in Savona, New York at the Mud Creek Bison Ranch. I will be there covering all the action with DJ Immortal. We'll have interviews. We'll have exclusive content. And if you're in Ontario, New York State, Quebec, Pennsylvania, make the drive and check it out because it's going to be a really exciting night.
And did I see kids under 10 free as well on the admission?
Yes, sir. Forgot to mention that. Thank you for pointing that out. Flex Wrestling is a very kid-friendly promotion, and you're not going to break the bank by going there and buying some tickets, unlike the WrestleMania stuff that we've been talking about. But, man, I can't contain my excitement for Finger Lakes Extreme Wrestling. We are now a official sponsor and going to be doing a lot with Flex in 2026. What about this story about CM Punk? Have you seen this? About fans, I guess, are talking more and more that he should, they're asking when he should retire. Have you seen any of this?
They'd be begging for him to come back after a couple of weeks.
Well, yeah, that's
these the same people that were chanting in arenas for 10 years for him to come back?
Yeah, he spoke to he's spoken a couple of times about it, and he's asking. I get it every other question. Hey, when are you going to retire? It's like, well, slow down. And he mentioned Rey Mysterio as an example of longevity. He said, like, I look at a guy like Ray and he's timeless and he inspires me to put my boots on and keep going. I love the fact that I'm back and looking to the future. Gordie Howe played in the NHL till he was 52 and he's Mr. Hockey, And when the question is posed, he says, I usually don't put a time limit on it. I try to say never anymore until I'm known as Mr. Wrestling. So he's trying to send the fans the message. Stop asking, because it's obviously annoying to him, and I agree with him that it can be bordering on rude, so to speak. What are your thoughts on on CM Punk. He clearly he has slowed down a bit, in my opinion, but who hasn't? And there's very few bona fide draws. It highlights the fact that WWE has not done a good job in establishing new, younger main event talent. And without the 40 to 50-year-old group, they've been in a bad way. Don't you agree, Maurice?
Yes, I do agree. And judging by what he said, it doesn't look like he's planning on retiring anytime soon. You know, you look at who is the biggest stars apart from him, and you'll say Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. But to credit AEW, Tony Khan, and Cody himself, he built himself up when he left, and he came back, and that elevated him into one of the top positions in the company. So who really have they put on the top in the last 10 years, apart from Roman Reigns?
Good question. Certainly not LA Knight.
No.
And
so I think CM Punk can retire whenever he wants. It looks to me like he's having a lot of fun. I don't follow a lot of wrestlers on Instagram, but I don't follow a lot of top wrestlers on Instagram, but he's one of them I do, and I just see him at every show. He's got a smile on his face. He's autographing photos. He's in the arena 5 or 6 hours before the show starts. Completely different guy to what the last experience he had in the company.
Mm-hmm. Definitely seems to have settled down, so to speak, and having a good time. And I agree with you. Jericho can still do it. He's one of the most anticipated returns that hasn't happened yet. I say let him go as long as he wants to. I mean, it's not unprecedented that wrestlers have, well, look at Ricky Morton. He's still wrestling at 70. And having seen him live in December, it's unbelievable to me. He can still get the job done, so leave him alone.
Bushwhacker Luke was in a battle royal in Manchester over the weekend for the love of wrestling. Marty Jannetty didn't make his flight, so make of that what you will. So a lot of fans disappointed in the UK that Marty didn't make his flight last weekend. But a lot of legends in the house.
Nice. Yeah, Bushwhacker Luke's a great guy. We've interviewed him before. Actually, I had the opportunity to interview both sheep herders before the great Butch Miller passed away. Maybe Marty is just never recovered from the obscure UFO channel's unwarranted attacks on him. I'm just speculating there, but that would seem to be the case, perhaps. Neil Koloff is here in the house. Got to shout him out. A man that I've interviewed a few times and recently with Nikita Koloff. He's saying you guys should have some Neil Koloff and the Koloff family. I agree 100%, sir. As we've talked off air, we'd love to do an interview with the entire Koloff family if that's possible. I know you guys are doing record-breaking business, doing a big tour. Please, you know how to get in touch with me. Drop me a line and we'll make that happen. Speaking of independent wrestling, though, let's talk about the big deal coming up in Castle Comer Community Hall, Sunday, March 29th, the Castle Comer Rumble. Do you want to fill in all our beloved Irish fans on this, Maurice?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so as far as announcements go, this is the only Rumble that is scheduled to be in Ireland this year. So it's going to be a really big show. We've got 20 competitors in the Royal Rumble. Wow. There's more matches to be announced. NLW just finished. I was there at the last show on Sunday up in Naas, sold out County Kildare, 300 plus in attendance.
Wow.
And that was, in a lovely theatre there called the Moat Theatre. So 300 plus in attendance. That show was building into our show here in Castle Comer, and we got a new NLW World Heavyweight Champion. CBL is the guy's name. He's really, really good guy, really good character, and we got a retirement that night from Justy, who was an Irish wrestling legend, hung up the boots after 25 years. So best of luck and wishes to him in his retirement. But we'll be keeping an eye down here in Kilkenny on Luke Frehill, our Kilkenny's own. Worked as an extra on SmackDown a few weeks ago over in the UK. He's facing a Serbian by the name of Ilya Zarkov. And the winner of that match will get the last entrant into the Royal Rumble. And the loser of that match will come in number 1. There he is there with the chain at the back there. Tough guy.
I see it. Yep.
Yeah.
Where can the fans grab these tickets? Because I take it that seating is limited, and you don't want to. I guess you've got quite an impressive pre-show already, and you're that far out. Looks like you're going to pack them right to the rafters again.
Yeah, I would fully imagine we'll hit capacity again this year, and then the winner of the Rumble will get a shot in September at our next show for the title in Castlecomer. So we'll continue on wrestling in Castlecomer as long as the market is there. We'll keep going.
Well, isn't it isn't it true that the Emerald Isle has a really strong desire for wrestling? There's shows all over the place. It is a hot, bona fide territory now, correct?
You should see the guys and the dedication I see behind the scenes of 15 guys showing up, let's say, at 9 a.m. in the morning and building the ring together and staying till the end. Everybody, no egos. Guys in the gym 6-7 days a week. Guys driving, because the only wrestling school is in Dublin, so guys have to drive from all over the south of Ireland to go to Dublin to train, a few nights a week. And even in Kilkenny now, where I'm from, we've got 3 active wrestlers here now, which is huge. And I don't know. It's strange without being here. When you do come to Ireland, we're definitely going to go to some independent wrestling, and you'll be able to see what it's all about.
For sure. One last time, just so the fans know, where can they get those tickets?
So they get the tickets off of me direct, or from Eventbrite, or from where I work, the shop Londis in Castlecomer. All your options there. Family ticket available, four seats for €50 or €15 each per ticket.
That's great. I love to see independent wrestling thriving and getting back to the way that it used to be and it's supposed to be, and that's family entertainment, affordable family entertainment, no greed in these situations. I know a lot of companies, if they draw they're breaking even, maybe a little bit of profit. No extreme greed and gouging people. So fans, as we are apt to say in these programs on Cheap Heat Productions, make sure that you support independent wrestling. And that includes, again, this Saturday, February 28th, Flex Wrestling Frozen Fight Night at the Mud Creek Bison Ranch. So excited to go there and meet the fans. I met a lot in December, said hello, that are viewers of the channel. That's great. But one of the highlights for me is it is a bison ranch, a legitimate bison ranch. And I ordered 2 bison burgers in December, and they only made 1. And this man right here, my managerial charge, the Kingpin Angel Medina, he's the star, so he got the bison burger. This time I'm hoping to get one myself. But Maurice, we've come to the end of the first Cheap Heat Productions this week in the spirit of the Great Pro Wrestling This Week series of the 80s. Had Bonnie Blackstone on this channel earlier. Search up that interview. She, along with her husband, Joe Pedicino, they pioneered pro wrestling this week. Always been a fan. Happy to carry on the spirit of that program. But I'm going to leave it to you to have some final thoughts. I know you're, speaking of busy, you're doing all kinds of good things there, and it's always a treat when we can do a podcast together again.
Yeah, delighted to be back, and delighted that you're doing such a great job on the channel. And if it wasn't for you, the channel would be dead and buried. I had great commitment to it, but I'm just so fucking busy now. But I'm delighted that you're able to keep it going.
I appreciate that. We're a slow channel. We're growing We're a slow build channel. We're growing legitimately. Unlike some other fraudulent channels that we could mention, we don't buy viewers. We don't have to give our plaque back when it's found out that we bought viewers. We have a very specific mission statement here, and that's to highlight Irish wrestling. And my passion is old school territorial wrestling in the U.S. And man, had so many great interviews this year with legends. Recently, I interviewed Ted Arcidi, fantastic Bobby Fulton. And man, on Sunday on the flagship podcast, spoke to JC Ice, Jamie Dundee. Check all of those out, fans, along with Unbreakable Michael Elgin. So many good things happening, and we're going to keep that going. Thank you for entrusting the great channel into my care. I have no plans to stop anytime soon, and I'm very much enjoying working for Cheap Heat Productions. But until next time, for Maurice, the tireless public servant, I'm Jack, and I will see you at the matches this Saturday. Thank you for watching this video. Please give it a like if you enjoyed it. Be sure to follow us on all social media platforms at Cheap Heat Productions. Don't forget to hit the notification button, and you won't miss any of our upcoming interviews, recurring programs, or entertainment products. Thanks again, and keep